problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I pissed so my frustration. I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah.
Coach, thank you. We have playoff football and bone-chilling playoff football at that in the city of brotherly love at Lincoln Financial Field. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
Let's go, let's go!
Hey, we're good.
A first down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Let's pick it up. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. You go tight. You got tight.
On second down, Cook. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1 yard pickup there on second.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37. So opening drive, third down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, 37 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And You see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wentz. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Strip that ball.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And able to find Kirk complete. And we'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A 3rd down gain of 19.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. This seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The protection up front, very good on that play. Had all night to throw the football, even though he was unsuccessful.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. That's going to be caught by Kirk. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come back?
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Cousins gives way to Cook. Takes this to the 12. 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Mike. Let's go. Check 52. Watch it. Begin. Bingo. He's checking. Crash.
On 3rd down, Cousins. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And a promising start as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Harrison Smith in the coverage.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
They can't hang with that.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And Sanders has got it complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there.
Switch. Check nickel.
3rd and long for Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get in the end zone, but then, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go for the goalpost. So
it does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Everson Griffin, his second sack of the night.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Here's Jones on the return. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 47-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check 3, check 3. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Back.
They run, Cook, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 54 yards.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Go. 120.
Check. Watch 54. Double dog. Back to the one.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wentz now to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Danielle Hunter able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
And right now, under 100 yards of total offense. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Watch the ship, watch the ship. Check 13.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. He'll return it from the 6. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing now is Wentz. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game now. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Check safety, check safety. 25, check 25, check 25. Slam.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 23-yard line.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run it again with Cook, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
From the gun, here's Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dylan Mitchell there to make the grab. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10.
Eagles 10.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Wentz. It's caught by Sanders. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Here's Wentz to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the safety creep. Switch. Bang, 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 bang.
To throw, Cousins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run on first down. Edmonds. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Watch the run, watch the run. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check 24, check 24.
Throwing on second down. Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Barber on first and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 53. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And that's complete to Sanders. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. On first down, Wentz. Open man is Kirk, complete.
Wentz's pass, complete to Christian Kirk. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Sanders. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 12 yards there and a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Here's Sanders. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll come out in the pistol. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Fletcher Cox in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Back to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Check 52. What's the
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. They had the extra week of rest. That was a factor. I think this home crowd was certainly a factor as well. So this is step 1 done. Now they need to win next week if they want to get to the Super Bowl.
I like those 2 factors that you brought up. The extra week, getting the open week by being the number 2 seed, a terrific home crowd for them, coupled with really good play. That allows them now to keep their Super Bowl dream alive. One more on their way to the Super Bowl.
Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side, and now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? The OTAs and mini camps before that. Going through the regular season, fighting and scratching and clawing to make it to the playoffs. And then to get to this game, 1 game short of a conference championship, they'll have the whole offseason to think about it. Let's see if they use it as motivation.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.